Hey everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. The studio lights had never felt so bright, so unforgiving. On a morning that was supposed to begin like any other, warm banter, shared smiles, the familiar rhythm of coffee mugs and cue cards, something shifted in the air. Viewers felt it before they saw it. Ripa, the woman known for her infectious laugh and unstoppable energy, sat frozen for just a beat too long, and in that silence, a storm began. No one had prepared the audience for what would come next. Kelly's hands trembled as she adjusted the stack of papers in front of her. The teleprompter scrolled, but her eyes didn't follow. Instead, they searched, past the cameras, past the lights, toward Mark Consuelos, her husband, her partner on and off screen, her constant. Mark looked different that morning. Calm, yes, but the kind of calm that comes after a decision has already been made. A decision heavy enough to bend even the strongest hearts. "Before we start today," Kelly said softly, her voice already betraying her, "there's something we need to share." The studio fell silent. For decades, Ripa had mastered the art of holding it together. Through career changes, family challenges, and the relentless pace of live television, she had always stood tall. But now, her smile faltered. Her eyes filled, and when the first tear slipped down her cheek, the world watching at home collectively gasped. This wasn't acting. This wasn't television drama. This was real. Mark reached for Kelly's hand, squeezing it gently, as if offering an anchor in rough waters. He inhaled deeply before speaking. "I've made a decision, one that wasn't easy, one that's been weighing on us for a long time." Kelly turned toward him, her lips trembling. "I knew this day might come," she whispered, barely audible. "I just didn't know it would hurt this much." Rumors had circulated for weeks, quiet whispers among fans and insiders alike. Was Mark stepping away from something? Was he chasing a new chapter? Was there trouble behind the scenes? The truth, as it often does, proved far more emotional than speculation. Mark had decided to step back, not just from a role, not just from a project, but from a chapter of life they had built together in the public eye. A chapter defined by shared mornings, inside jokes, and a rare kind of chemistry that millions felt invited into their homes every day. "I need time," Mark admitted, his voice steady but heavy. "Time to breathe, time to reflect, time to choose a different path for now." The words landed like thunder. Kelly's composure shattered. Tears streamed freely as Kelly tried and failed to speak. She covered her face for a moment, shoulders shaking, before finally looking back at the camera. Her vulnerability was raw, unfiltered, and heartbreaking. "This show, this life, it's been everything to us. We built something together, not just a career, but a rhythm, a home." She paused, overwhelmed. When the person you share that with decides to step away, it feels like the ground disappears beneath your feet. The audience at home watched a woman they thought they knew reveal a depth of pain rarely seen on daytime television. This wasn't about fame or schedules. This was about partnership, about losing the comfort of a shared routine, about facing change when you aren't ready. Kelly had always been the one to lift others up. Now she needed lifting herself. What viewers didn't see were the nights leading up to that morning, the quiet arguments whispered in the dark, the long conversations after the kids had gone to bed, the tears shed in private, away from the cameras. Mark hadn't come to his decision lightly.
"I felt myself pulling in too many directions," he later confessed. "Work, family, expectations. I realized I was losing pieces of myself, and I didn't want resentment to grow where love lives." Kelly understood that logic. She truly did. But understanding didn't soften the pain. For her, Mark's decision felt like losing a limb she didn't realize she relied on so deeply. Their shared presence on screen wasn't just professional, it was symbolic. It represented unity, teamwork, and the rare success of blending love with career. And now that symbol was changing. Within minutes, social media exploded. "Kelly crying broke me. I've never seen her like that." Change is hard, even for the strongest. Fans from around the world flooded timelines with messages of support. Some shared their own stories of partners choosing new paths. Others simply sent hearts, prayers, and gratitude. Kelly had spent years comforting others with laughter. Now millions wanted to comfort her. "I never imagined our story would touch people this deeply," Kelly said later backstage, wiping her eyes. "But maybe that's because it was real, always real." When the cameras cut, Mark remained seated beside Kelly. There was no dramatic exit, no final bow, just a man holding the woman he loves while she cried. "I'm not leaving you," he whispered to her, according to those nearby. "I'm just stepping into something unknown, and I need you to believe that." Kelly nodded, though the tears kept falling. "I believe you. I just need time to catch up to your courage." The days that followed were heavy. Kelly returned to the studio, brave but visibly changed. Her laughter still came, but slower now, more fragile. Every empty space beside her echoed with memory. Yet, in that sadness, something else emerged: strength. "I'm learning," Kelly shared in a heartfelt moment days later, "that love doesn't always mean holding on. Sometimes it means letting someone go find themselves, while trusting they'll come back stronger." It wasn't the ending fans wanted, but it was honest. Despite the heartbreak, one truth remained unshaken. Kelly and Mark's bond was far from broken. If anything, it was being tested in a way only real love ever is. Change doesn't ask permission. It arrives unannounced, demanding courage from those it touches. For Kelly Ripa, that courage came with tears, with vulnerability, with a painful goodbye to what once was. But even in devastation, hope lingered. As the lights dimmed on another broadcast, Kelly took a deep breath and looked forward, not without fear, but with resolve. "This hurts," she admitted softly, "but we're still standing, and that means the story isn't over." And somewhere beyond the cameras, beyond the shock and sadness, a new chapter waited. Uncertain, yes, but still written with love.
B-R-O-K-E, Kelly shared in a heartfelt moment days later, that love doesn't always mean holding on. Sometimes it means letting someone go find themselves while trusting they'll come back stronger. It wasn't the ending fans wanted, but it was honest. Love tested, not broken. Despite the heartbreak, one truth remained unshaken. Kelly and Mark's bond was far from broken. If anything, it was being tested in a way only real love ever is. Change doesn't ask permission. It arrives unannounced, demanding courage from those it touches. For Kelly Ripa, that courage came with tears, with vulnerability, with a painful goodbye to what once was. But even in devastation, hope lingered. As the lights dimmed on another broadcast, Kelly took a deep breath and looked forward, not without fear, but with resolve. "This hurts," she admitted softly, "but we're still standing, and that means the story isn't over." And somewhere beyond the cameras, beyond the shock and sadness, a new chapter waited. Uncertain, yes, but still written with love.